we're back again, live with Coach Brad, episode 8. I think this is 8. I think it's episode 8. We have the legendary, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna call himself that, but we have the legendary Coach Anthony Thomas here, which needs no introduction. I'll kind of get right into it, let him communicate, talk about who he is, and we'll kind of get into some other stuff from that point. So, Coach, at this point, the floor is yours.
No, I appreciate you having me, Coach. Always a pleasure to be able to work with good people. And
for sure.
Today is a pleasure, and just happy to just sit down and chop it up with you.
100%. So if we're talking about, kind of tell the people who you are, like I keep saying like a lot, but let's kind of get into who Coach Thomas is. Like, what's your story? What's your background? What's your history?
Anthony Thomas, man. First and foremost, man, I'm a child of God, man. I'm proud of my mom and dad. So I'm proud of that. And I was born and raised on the South Side, born in Southwest Atlanta, but raised in College Park, man. So everything Old National, Godby Road, that's been me.
South Side, real South Side.
For sure. So just basically just about serving people, man. Just being a team player, trying to motivate people to be better. You're not gonna see me out for any kind of show. It's not about me. I just love being around good people and having a good time.
Gotcha. So when it comes to your basketball career, kind of give some insight about you as a player, playing in college. What do you play in college? Some of that stuff.
Yeah. Enjoyed a great career, man. Went to high school here at Woodward Academy. Had a great 4-year career. Just love being able to play against the Santa Creeks and the Westlakes and all that on this side of town, and had a good career there. Went on was blessed to play 4 years at Furman University. Enjoyed that every minute of it. Just continued to play till I could, really no longer play anymore. And just came a time when I felt like I had given it all, and it was time to move forward. So left there, went to law school. Came back home and went to law school. So as becoming an attorney, man, I ended up coming back to school, sort of helping out on the coaching side of things. And dominoes started to fall. And next thing you know, I'm working in the school and coaching, and it's been here ever since.
Wait a minute. So you went to law school?
Yeah, I did.
That's what's up. What's up, man. That's new to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's the purpose of this communication is to learn more about each other and one another. But no, that's cool. And then going to Furman too, that I don't think a lot of people really know that's an extremely high academic school. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them ones where you got to be on your stuff when you go into Furman. You can't.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It was a great time, man, and it was good basketball, man. I played against some great players. Got a great education. Wasn't too far from home, but I still get together with some of the guys from Furman, and it was good. It was good for me.
Got you. So when we talk about Woodward Academy, right? Everybody, we look at first thing that people think about with Woodward is that tuition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you think about basketball at Woodward Academy, and of course it's going to be a little different for you because your background is similar to mine, meaning that I went to my high school, coached at my high school, so my love and my passion is a little deeper than anybody else's. So when you think about, or when that question is asked to you and you talk about Woodward Academy basketball, like what does that mean to you? And then what is Woodward Academy basketball? Yeah,
that's a great question, Brad. Man, Woodward is, to me, is home, obviously. Being able to say that, I wore that same jersey, literally playing at that same gym that the guys are playing in now. And, the sprints, the stadiums, the workouts, all of that stuff is ingrained in me. And I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm giving you something that was taught to me when I was here. And so when I think about Woodward, the tuition is pricey, right? It has the resources, but it really doesn't matter about the price or the resources if you're not getting the work in. And so
100%.
We've always prided ourselves on the work, even when I was a player here, even when I came back as an assistant. Now being a head coach, it was all about the same thing. It was about the work. I mean, a lot of people from the outside looking in may look at it, it's a lot of money and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, they teenagers. We were teenagers, and you still got to put in the work. I love 100%. The fact that we play public schools and compete against public schools because I want to be considered on that same level of competition. right? I don't want any exceptions made for us. We need to work just like everybody else. So when you
Right.
think about Woodward Academy, you think about a team that's going to work just as hard as anybody else, a team that's going to be grateful for the opportunity. And our guys know that, if you don't earn it, like, nothing's going to be given to you. And we've had years where we had to learn that the hard way. We didn't make any excuses, and we were able to enjoy some good years because of it.
Right. Man, one thing I never got to communicate with you about, man, I know that had to be a great experience, that Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith game at home.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be, first of all, I did not want that to be in that round. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we wanted that to be a later matchup, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of it being at that point. But that's some GHSA stuff that's out of our control.
For sure.
But that matchup, right? When you look at that matchup, that arguably goes down as probably one of the greatest high school basketball games ever.
Oh, yeah.
And like, because you got two potential, I mean, at the time they was potential pros, but now they're pros. We talking about real pros. We ain't talking about just figuring out if you're gonna be in the league or not. Like, they're established. You know what I mean? So like, so thinking back a little bit of that game, like, as far as you coaching, of course, we're not talking wins and losses, but just being in that environment, just that experience, just seeing the community involvement, you know what I'm saying? Your team and all that. Like how did you feel during those times?
Man, that was almost a once in a generation type experience, especially now the way high school rules are. I mean, you don't really see a lot of, 4 or 5 stars even playing traditional high school basketball. So being able to have, that sort of atmosphere around the game was just crazy, for lack of a better phrase. I'm like I'm not complaining that we had it at home, right? But I wish, and that's a plug to the Georgia high school, that those quarterfinal games were at neutral sites, man, because there's no telling how many people could have witnessed that game.
Because it was a limit. Yeah, it was a limit of people to get in there too. Yeah,
it was a limit, which made the atmosphere that much more crazy. So we appreciated that. But at the end of the day, the atmosphere was crazy. It was just two teams that were I mean, they had tremendous seasons, and it literally came down to, two studs like putting their teams on their back and just literally battling. And I think many people don't remember it, but like in the fourth quarter of that game, they guarded each other, and it was just
they did.
And it's one of those things, man, when you hear all the time players say, it's something I'll think about when I'm done playing or later on down the line. Like, in the moment, like, I'm just coaching, right? And I'm just I feel the atmosphere while I'm coaching, but I don't really think about how important it was until, like, after the game. I had a guy come. Matter of fact, Justin Young, who covered basketball at that time, came up to me and said, "Do you realize what you just experienced?" And I was just like, "Nah, I get it now." You know what I mean? That was pretty big time. And even now that I think about it, like, that was a moment that I probably won't be able to experience again. I hope to be able to experience it, but right now I just don't think so.
For sure. Yeah, no, I asked that because I mean I was fortunate enough to be there at that game too as well. But just that atmosphere, just seeing, and to me, I felt like Woodward Academy basketball has always been, a solid program. Like, I always felt like, you're going to be in the state tournament when it comes down to it. You're going to be in the thick of things every year. I think at that point in time, when you looked at Woodward Academy basketball, that was when it was trajectory was going. It kept going like this, more and more and more and more and more, from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And like to witness that and to see that moment, you know what I'm saying, and just to see the coaches going at it. I mean, I even seen at the point where both of the coaches on the sideline was just standing there, bro. Like, it's like, what do you say? I mean, and you had the point guard at the time that played with you too, really good. I can't think of his name right now.
Michael Whitman.
Yeah, tough. Yeah. So, you had a lot of players on the court, and it was just one of them games where, you could yell out plays, but it was so loud, they couldn't really hear nothing. It was just them, just being players, you know what I mean? And that's the games to me that, makes you fall in love with it. It keeps you going. And then also as a pro, you know what I'm saying, that's the memories that last forever for you, that keeps that why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So but I just wanted to ask that because I never got a chance to ask you that question because that was a major experience, man. Like, nobody wanted to see that matchup that early. Nobody wanted to see it that early.
That was big time.
Yeah, for sure. So when we talk about we kind kind of get into the team a little bit.
Right.
Of course, you had some roster changes.
Yep.
You know, which to me is, whew, you got some fire. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But it's always been good program. I mean, good teams. But this time, I mean, you're looking at having maybe 3 or 4 top 100 guys on one team.
Right.
Like, you know, that's a little different at the high school level. That's more like, you know, that's up there. But even when you look at some of those guys, and you look at your roster makeup, not necessarily, we don't have to talk about the big dogs all the time because everybody always talk about them. But like, what are some of the other key components or the key players that you feel like for you guys to make a deep run? Who are some of those guys that you're looking for to be like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and my expectation is at whatever level? Like, just for you right now, just thinking, not necessarily for, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing with your team right now.
Now, you know, we made reference to, you know, the Kessler team and the year we played Sandy Creek. And I think that team was an example of a team who you got to remember that year, you know, we also had Will Richard, Emery Lanier, Stevens, who all ended up, you know, playing at the college level. And despite the fact that we had, you know, all of that talent on that team, like, there had to be sacrifices made in order to be successful, because, you know, you can put all the talent together and you can put all the talent in the world together. You'll be pretty good. You know, you'll win most games, but it's going one or two games during the season where it's going to come down to that chemistry that you have together, you know, and it goes down to the workouts, to the, you know, the running, the sweating together, you know, doing all those things in practice. And I think this team can mirror, you know, that team. But we're not there yet. Obviously, there are no guarantees. We've had some roster additions, you know, but sacrifices are going to have to be made. Like, those guys are going to have to come in understanding what the culture is of the program now. The guys who are here are going to have to be able to be welcoming, and then that's going to have to mesh into us being able to play basketball together at a high level. So some of our returning guys, like, you know, Donovan Johnson, Junior Phillips, those guys are going to have to be able to, you know, accept the new roster adjustments and then raise their level of play. You know, Miles and Doris Hayes are going to have to make sure that, you know, they continue that leadership, that foundation, the culture that we build every day in practice. So, you know, the talk is always about, you know, who's coming in and what these roster spots look like. But it's still, to me, it just comes down to the work, right? If we don't work, right, it doesn't matter.
None of it means nothing.
No, it doesn't matter who you have. It doesn't matter what kind of talent you have. If you don't put the work in, then somebody's going to come out every night and they're going to try to beat you. And if you don't do the work, they're going to beat you. And you know, I venture to say, I put our region up against anybody right now. You know, and it's just that tough night in and night out, and nobody really sees what these coaches in this region are doing. Like, it's a dog fight every night. So there's nothing guaranteed. We're excited for the challenge, but it's not guaranteed at all.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing when you look at what you do in the profession you're in as a high school coach, is that, I mean, you can get all the kids in the world, right? You can even get the kids that have the highest profile. You can get the kids with the lowest profile. At the end of the day, everything is still based off of potential. You know what I'm saying? So it's trajectory of where you're going, not necessarily where you are right now. You could have moments that, you know, that'll be a little bit more as far as consistency wise, but night in, night out, if I have a good night and this is still a young man or a young kid, he's still going to have his flaws. So you're still working to get to the best level that you can. So that's a good point that you made when you make that reference that way. So when we get into, you know, just preseason, right? Yeah. We know how preseason is, and we understand as coaches that, I mean, we don't put a lot on preseason. That's just transparency of it. Right. You know what I mean? But with a group that has this potential, right? Do you kind of tweak it a little bit to kind of put that focus in a little earlier, or do you still, as a coach, do your own traditional thing? Because everybody's superstitious now. Right, you still do your own traditional things that you always done to get to the success that you've already had. Because it's almost like, why do I switch it if I've been successful? Like, but when you got a group like this, do you kind of, you know what I mean? What do you do?
I get it. You know, I guess the short answer is no, we don't switch it up. Mm-hmm. And I also want to push back a little bit on the fall not really meaning that much. The wins and losses don't mean as much. right?
That's what I
Just
mean by it.
trying to play. But I'm also looking for guys to sort of build consistency in certain things. I'm looking for
Mhm.
those guys who are going to be um, the glue guys for me for this season. So guys who's showing up early, guys who working hard, guys who being leaders, even in the fall league game, who dive on the floor, who willing to take a charge. Because I think most coaches would agree, like you can use this as sort of a advanced tryout for those kids who are on
100%.
that marginal, that line between either playing and not playing, or making a team and not making a team. So there's some value there. But as far
Mhm.
as like doing something different based on the talent, I mean, obviously you want to make sure that your guys are well rested and prepared for the season. I don't think we do anything that's completely different. Now, I do understand the value in having exposure for them. So I'm going to, obviously we want to
100%.
play at events like this where they can maximize that exposure. But as far as the chemistry of the team is concerned, it still come back to that same. What are you doing when we're working out? Like,
Mhm. The root.
are
Gotcha.
you running those stadiums? Are you running those sprint? Are you first or you last?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That all
Yeah.
counts. So
Yeah.
that's how we
Now,
approach.
now I heard stories, man. I've never told you this, but I've heard stories for some of the guys at Woodward in the past that played up under you. They say them stadiums and that preseason work ain't no joke.
Hey man,
They
like
say it
I don't
ain't
know any
no
other way.
joke now.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
say it
any
ain't
other
no
way.
joke, boy.
Yeah,
They say
yeah,
it ain't no joke. Now I done heard some stories about a lot of different ones, but they said y'all's over there. It says it's a little different. But that's a good sign though. That's a good thing though. You know what I'm saying? So if outside of the court, right?
yeah.
Who is Coach Thomas? Who is he?
Man, I'm I'm just a servant. I'm a servant leader, man. I like to have fun. You can find me. I'm all things Atlanta. All right. So if you want to talk about
For
these
sure.
Falcons, Braves, Hawks, whatever,
Yeah.
Bulldogs, even the Yellow Jackets, like I'm all things Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I'm about being with friends, having a good time. I got a close knit circle that I really trust, and I know they rock with me. Um, you're not gonna see a bunch of bells and whistles. It's just me and my people, man. Just me and my people, and I I I value genuine people. I value
Mhm.
genuine people, and I guess that would be the staple. Like if you're genuine, then we cool.
Yeah, real recognize real. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. I get it. So what's some of the I don't know if you guys finished. I mean, I don't coach in high school, so I don't know
Right.
what it looks like as far as putting the schedule together. But
Right.
could you give like just a couple of events that you guys are playing in this year, or that you already have, the ones that you already solidified with, that you don't know what's
Yeah.
on the table now. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't have to be many, just a couple, just so we can kind of get an idea of where to follow you at.
Yeah, as you can imagine, man, with the roster changes, man, it's all kind of requests that are out there right now.
For
But in,
sure.
in addition to our region, very tough region schedule. First and foremost, um,
Hmm.
we are we're in the Hawks Naismith Classic, Hoops for Hunger, Marshall County Hoop Fest that's in Kentucky. We're playing in the Dream Classic this year. A lot of
Hmm.
the events that are high profile here in Atlanta, we're involved in, and
Hmm.
then as you can imagine, next year's schedule is already filling up with
Listen, it's
requests
gonna be
from
a
whoever.
whole nother
So
level.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna be a
So
whole level,
that
man.
just and that just shows me, man, we got to go to work because I don't like to get
Yeah.
embarrassed.
No,
So
I'm telling you, and also too, man. It also keeps you sharp, as a
yeah,
coach. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like with each year, you having a case by case basis to where you're trying to figure out what it is that you're gonna do with your team, where
right.
y'all playing at, what's going on, and then I already
Yeah,
have an idea what it's gonna look like in the following years because of
right.
the multitude of talent that you have. Like it already
Mhm.
puts you. You know what I'm saying, in a different mindset too as well, which is gonna help
Right.
you as a coach. You'll be more sharper. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because
For sure.
it's just one of them things. It's just natural as a competitor. You know what I mean? It's just gonna
Yep.
happen. And then just like you said,
Absolutely.
nobody wants to go anywhere and want to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? That's
Nope.
that's just not what it is. I don't know nobody from Atlanta that want to go anywhere and get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to give you your flowers with everything that you've been doing, man. It's no different from what I already feel. I mean, we're just doing it from a live service.
Yeah.
Definitely hardworking. Definitely a man of integrity that I respect a lot, man. And a lot of times, with you being a servant, not saying that you don't get your flowers, because I'm pretty sure your circle does that to you, but the outside world, they might not give you all of that. So I definitely wanted to commend you on all of the hard work that you're doing and just raising young men. Basketball is what it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna get talent. That's just what it is. But dealing with these guys day to day, on a day-to-day basis, every day,
Yeah.
it's not easy. There's
Yeah.
a lot of personalities
Yeah.
to balance. You know what I mean? So I want to give your
For
flowers
sure.
on that for sure.
I appreciate it, man.
For sure. So let's talk about the fall shootout a little bit, Metro Atlanta fall
Yeah.
shootout. From your perspective, um, what made the event? Of course, the communication and all of that stuff, but what made the event intriguing for you to be like, okay, everybody's calling me, everybody want me to go everywhere, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna choose this one. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna choose this too, or whatever. You know what I mean? What kind of brought your interest to that, to make you feel comfortable with it?
No, I appreciate that. Several things, Coach. I mean, number one, I talked about it earlier. People being genuine, man. Like every time I've called or reached out to you about something, you answer the phone, right? So I trust that any event that you're involved with is going to be A1. I want to make sure
100.
there's something that protects our guys, something that can benefit our guys. And we got talented teams, and a lot of times it's not about what teams are there, right? I just want to make sure that the teams that are there are committed to being there and getting better, right? And I
Yeah.
know how you operate, so I wasn't worried about that. And so that's really important. I mean, that's a couple of the biggest reasons why we chose to take part. Also,
Mhm.
man, it's on the South Side. Like I'm a big South Side guy. I think that a lot of people miss the buck on the families and the players that we have here on the South Side. There was a rap for a lot of time that a lot of the better players on the South Side ended up going north for whatever reason. But it's a whole lot going on down south of I-20, man. And if you just
A whole
if you're
lot.
just willing to invest, come out, support, this may be a little controversial, but hey, like families, man, all right, we might have to pay a little bit to watch some Southside basketball, but that's the only way we're gonna get
100.
people to respect it, right?
100.
Um,
100.
you go up north and you pay it, you can pay it on the South Side too. But that's just College Park, Old National Ant talking, because that's how I
No,
was
I
raised.
appreciate that, man. We might need to cut that little piece out right there, man. I need that. I
Oh,
needed to hear
good,
that.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I
that's real.
grew up all
That's
over the
real.
South Side. I grew up playing at
Yeah.
East Point, College Park, Burdette. And so that was a
Same here.
culture right there, and we're trying to
Yeah.
keep all of that. We're trying to keep all of that connected, and we just need to make sure that that's represented well. So I try to do my part and make sure that happens.
And and I'm glad you made that point, because man, that's God talking to. But kind of give, like, because a lot of people don't really know. I mean, for one, they don't know how big basketball is on the South Side. They don't really
Mhm.
know, and
Mhm.
this is really more basketball than football over here.
Right,
But
right.
when you look at College Park, right? You look at the city of College Park, or however you want to look at it, like the athletes of the number of basketball players that have been created from those rec centers and from the city of College Park, and the kids that have been there in those communities for so many
Mhm.
years,
Mhm.
like a lot of people don't know, it's been a lot. I'm talking about, we just not talking about boys, we're talking about boys and girls. Like, it's
Mhm.
been so many players
Yeah.
that College Park has
Yeah.
produced with basketball. So kind of just give me some insight. What does College Park in that community, what does that look like to you? What does that feel like to you, as far as when it comes to the youth, the community
Yeah.
involvement? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just all of
Yeah.
that. Like, what do you feel about that?
Man, I don't even know where to start as far as like my feelings about the South Side and College Park in
Yeah,
particular. Man, it's
yeah,
literally like it was literally a movement growing up. Like we had no like it was no disrespect, but I had no reason to even go to any other place because of what the South Side did for me. Um,
hmm
I remember, I mean, not just basketball. I mean, rec league football, baseball. You know what I'm saying? Basketball. We grew up being rivals in neighborhood middle schools, and even my home school, I was supposed to go to Banneker, and even though I didn't go to
hmm
Banneker and Woodward, it was still considered the south side of town. We was in the same region with
100%.
Westlake. So you got
hmm
Creekside down in that area, and just the family atmosphere that we were all raised under, sort of this idea that like Like we're this community that's oftentimes forgotten about because of this I don't know,
Stigma.
opinion that we're living. We might not be as uh, might not have as many resources. I feel like we not have as many resources anywhere else. And that's just true, you know. And oftentimes I hear people speak about the city, College Park, city of East Point, as if it's less than, and I don't rock with that. So I try to make sure that, you know, I'm not one of those people that are putting those communities down. I'm trying to support the community in a way. And so I want to make sure that our team is, you know, it's showcasing the areas and other counties they don't see us playing in Clayton County. You know, it's a lot on, but it's a lot, man. You know, my parents lived there until they passed away. You know, my sister still lives there. Like it's home, and that's real.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. And man, and you can hear the passion in what you said. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it hit a little different. It hit a little different when you're involved in the community, and then it also hits different when you become a successful product from it too as well. You know what I'm saying? So like I get it 100%, man. Like my family, you know, Cleveland Avenue grew up, you know what I'm saying, went down Jonesboro Road, mom got married, went to Morrow High School, graduated from Morrow High School, still give back to this day to Morrow High School. You know what I'm saying? Like even Morrow High School is playing in an event, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
And I, you know, we had some golden days there too, you know, and so I get it 100%. Like, and I grew up playing at College Park Rec. I played football there. I played basketball there.
Yep.
I mean, unfortunately with baseball, baseball is a little different. They took me up to, I got picked up by East Cobb, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, baseball, you know, I already know how that go, you know what I'm saying? But no, I get it 100%, man. Like it's just one of them things to where, you know, even from the program, you know, EYA, it came from the identity of people think that we can't do anything, like it's less. You know what I'm saying? It came from that identity. It came from that culture. And then it's like, look, it's not even a show you situation. It's just, look, we can do it our way and it still works and we can get the same result. So what do you know, that's just what it is. And grit too. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of grit over here. You know, it's a lot of grit, a little rough around the edges, but sometimes in life you need that. You know what I'm saying? It takes you places. It builds character. But
my kids play in College Park right now. They play College Park right.
Yeah. You did right. You did right. Yeah. So man, I definitely appreciate your time, man. Definitely one of the guys that I always gonna wish success to. You doing everything the right way, regardless of. I don't even know if anybody say that. I mean, I don't really know. I really don't care personally, but you know what I'm saying? Regardless of hearsay, you know, you're doing your thing. And I'm actually looking forward to this season. I've seen Bentley play before, but I haven't seen him play like in person, like me driving down the street now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a little bit different. But when you talk about the Hayes brothers, twins, because everybody say twins, I thought they was brothers. Yeah, I thought they was brothers. So I don't know where this twin stuff came on from, but when you kind of look at them, right, and you know, kind of where they're going in their careers as far as their skill sets or whatever, like what are some of the things that I'm not even gonna say what they got to work on, but what are some of the moments to where you like, wow, he gets it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a lot of people ask me that. Both of the brothers, their talent jumps off the page immediately. Like there is no debate the fact that they're talented, and that comes from just, you know, first of all, DNA is crazy.
That's pedigree. That's what I was about to say.
DNA is crazy, and they work hard at their craft. But their success to me, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a coach, starts with their approach to the game, right? They are not kids who are going to pout if they don't get a touch. They're not kids who are going to who are out just looking for how they can benefit from a certain situation. Their foundation starts from, what can I do to help this team win, right? And once you get players or student athletes who can start there as their foundation, no matter how good or how bad they are, if that first step is, what can I do to help this team win, then you're going somewhere, because that could mean I'm gonna go out and get 6 rebounds. I'm gonna go out and get 4 charges. I'm gonna go out and get 17 points. I'm gonna go out and make sure that this other kid shows up to practice on time. I'm gonna go out and make sure that, whatever the case may be, they got to be willing to do it. Because, and what I preach to them, and I urge a lot of families to consider is, at some point in your basketball journey, like, a coach could ask you to do anything. Like, you may get called up, you may get blessed enough to play in college, and you may have had the ball in your hand for your entire high school career. But then you get to college, they tell you, you know what, we want you to be a 3-and-D guy, right? And if you weren't willing to do every single thing to help a team win, that might be difficult for you. Then you don't get the opportunities. But with these brothers, man, I can ask them to be 3-and-D, guard the other team's best player, go get a bucket, go rebound, just be a great help defender, so that now we putting all these tools in the bag. So now when they do get to a situation where a coach at a higher level asks them to do something, they're ready to do it. And that's our job as coaches. But everybody isn't open to that. So, I'm not taking for granted the fact they can jump out the gym and they got all the skills in the world. But at their heart, they're trying to win ball games, right? And they're trying to do everything that they can to help us win. And as long as they keep that mindset, then we'll be fine and they'll be fine.
Now, before we get off real quick, you made a real good point, bro. So basically, in so many words, you're saying that they're selfless, right?
Sure.
With everything, and they do what's asked in their team players, right? Is something like that taught?
Yes. I think that at some point everybody becomes a witness to the importance of being selfless, right? Whether that's coming from a coach, a parent, a trainer, whatever the case may be. The thing about it is that being reinforced by your team, by your group, by the people that surround you, right? And I was blessed to be able to play basketball at a high level. So, I've seen it where, there are times when what coaches want you to do, this is what I want you to do. And if you can't do this, then you can't play for me. And the only way that you can be willing to or be successful at that is you got to be selfless enough to put your personal beliefs about who you are aside for that moment and say, you know what, for right now, this is what I want to do. I'll give you another example. I'm going to take this completely out of basketball since we've been talking about the South Side. 6th grade, McNair Middle School, Burdette Road, College Park. I was in the band and I wanted to play the trumpet, right? Trumpet player, but we had some pretty good trumpet players. And the band director, Mr. McDonald, looked at me and said, listen, man, if you want to sit first chair, second chair, it's going to be pretty tough because we got some 8th graders who are good trumpet players. But you can play baritone. If you play baritone, you probably can sit first and second chair. Bet. I'm going to go play baritone because I'm trying to do what's good for the band and get an opportunity to be successful. Right? I could have just said, nah, I'm a trumpeter and I ain't doing nothing else. Or I'm just going to leave and go play trumpet with somebody else. I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get this band up and running. And that's
a good.
But
that's a good analogy. Yeah, I was first chair percussion, so
there
I can
you go.
relate to it.
But see, that's where we are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you committed to the goal of making this team successful, then you do whatever it takes. And then once you earn that, coach, we call it around here, we give you the keys. Coach give you another key. Coach give you another key. Next thing you know, you got all the keys to the house, to the car, and you run the show. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we approach it, man. This is one coach's opinion. Take it for what it's worth.
I mean, we gonna do more to take it for what it's worth, because you look back there in that corner over there, there's some hardware up there. That's more than an opinion. And you got facts behind that, sir.
That's good players, man. You got good players to win.
Oh yeah, you gotta have good players to win. You definitely gotta have that. But this concludes episode 8, man. Definitely is always good talking to my guy Ant, man. Appreciate you. Best of luck this season. And we'll be looking forward to you guys being a part of the shootout coming up in the next couple of weeks, man. And we'll just stay connected, man, and keep doing what we're doing.
Appreciate you, Brad. Keep doing what you do, man. The South Side appreciate it.
Always, man. Appreciate it, man. Hey, before we get off real quick, just give your social media tags, so we can, when we post more, people can follow and kind of go from that point.
Like I say, ain't no bells and whistles, man. We just at Woodward basketball or Woodward b-ball, I think, on
Yeah.
X. We're working
Okay.
on the
Okay.
Instagram account. Other than that, you got to come to the gym and see about us.
Got to pull up. Hey, that's how it's supposed to be. Well, this concludes episode 8, man. We'll see y'all again.